Guys, this guy flew me to Miami for our like second date for like a vacation thing, and I'm pretty sure he ghosted me while we were here. Like, he left. I have no idea why, and I know this sounds like naive, but I really don't think it was anything I did, but TBD, because I don't know why he left or when he left or how. He drove, but whatever. We're gonna call him Michael for the purpose of this story. So yesterday, Michael was like, oh, I'm gonna go get lunch with my sister really quickly. I haven't seen her in 2 years. I'll be back at noon. I was like, okay, cool. Just don't forget, we have these hard to get lunch reservations at 1:30. He's like, yeah, I'll be back before then. So I went to the pool, minded my business, soaking up the sun. At 1:10, I was like, hey, where are you? Like, don't forget about lunch. No answer. And then at 1:20, I said, where are you? Like, are you picking me up for lunch? Because he has his car here. Like, he drove a couple of hours away from Tampa. And I was like, hey, like, where are you? Then I started getting really frustrated, and I texted him something like, yo, this is just so disrespectful to me and my time, and like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, sorry to be non-responsive. I just found out some devastating news, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm a very caring person. I don't think that's the word, but I'm a very trusting person. So I was like, oh yeah, like something happened, which to this time, I feel like something still happens. My friends don't think that something happened. They're like, oh, he definitely has a secret wife who was like, get your ass home. But it gets worse. I pushed the reservation back to 2. He misses that reservation too. And like, this is before he told me he had this quote devastating incident. And so housekeeping, and I promise this is important, housekeeping ends up coming, and I was like, okay, like this is at 3:30, I think. I was like, you can come on in. And after they made the bed, I took a nap. And so obviously they cleaned the shower too, which is important. And as I'm getting ready to go hang out with some of my other friends, I was like, fuck this. And I think this is still before I knew what happened. Actually, I think I knew that there's this, quote, devastating event. And so then I look around and I look in the corner and I realize his stuff's not there. I was like, did he come get his stuff while I was taking a nap? Like, that is so disrespectful. And there is the possibility that he possibly got it while I was at the pool and he was supposed to be home by noon and like all of that. That could have possibly been when he got it, but I don't know, because we're both very clean when we travel. So our stuff is like very compact. It almost looks like somebody's bedroom. But if he did get it while I was napping, that's disrespectful. And I noticed this morning when I was showering that there was a washcloth that was wet in there. I was like, did he get his stuff and then shower? Because housekeeping would have cleaned it up yesterday if he had showered before they came. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that would be so disrespectful. My friends like, were you sleeping through all of this? I was like, yeah, I'm a tank. So not quite sure what's happening right now. Keep you guys updated. I'm going to go run up some room service. Anyway, here's the first of many pina coladas on his tab. Thank you.
So first off, this is the second video where a dude got the hotel, clapped, then dipped, right? So first thing I want to say about this sister, I appreciate she has very nice teeth. The fact that she's speaking so close into the camera. I appreciate the fact that she's wearing her natural hair. She's high yellow. Of course. I know what all y'all gonna say anyway. But this is one of those things, one of those strange situations. Unless you like to get high, or unless you were high, drunk, under the influence, I know you sleep like a tank, before a guy to come in, that means that anybody, room service, any stranger could come in there and do something to you and you not even know. Come on, man. This guy came in, got his stuff, took a shower, if that's the case, or unless you were just lit, you were wasted beyond whatever. And that may be something that he saw that is very unattractive. I find that very unattractive when a woman gets completely wasted and her motor skills is all off. She's slurring her. That's, ladies, just letting you know, that's very unattractive. That's very unattractive. You have some men that'll take advantage of that, which they're dead wrong. But that's super unattractive in a woman. But for him to go through all of that and have a secret life, maybe his girlfriend was asking him where he's at. But for him to book all this stuff and then on my tab and all this stuff, is beyond me. But she did a follow-up video, guys. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Here are the answers to some of the questions and comments that you guys have been asking in the comments of my last video. If you haven't already watched part 1 of how this guy ghosted me while we were on vacation together, go check that out. Part 1 is people were concerned that I would end up with the bill for the hotels. So he actually already prepaid for the hotel and the reservation was completely in his name. I double checked with the front desk that the card is on file as his name. Like, my name's not anywhere. So I wouldn't be responsible for that bill, and I just double checked. I was like, I'm not getting charged. They're like, yeah, and you can use room service till the end of the day, which I have been. The second is that there was some confusion about how I said we're both clean travelers. So the reason I know that is because we've talked about in the past. We're both the type of people who like fold our stuff, put it in the drawers, hang up all of our clothes, iron all of our clothes, and like we don't live out our suitcases on vacation, so that's why the room looked so clean and why it was hard for me to really gauge when he took his stuff and left, because like all he would have had in there was his suitcase anyway, like everything else was away. The next is like a very obvious question that I'm sure like I know why you guys asked, is why would I go on vacation with somebody as a second date? We live in different states, so I mean, one person would have to fly anyway, so it was like, why not meet in Miami? And the thing is, like, okay, if I'm gonna be with a shitty guy, I'd rather be the shitty guy in Miami than Applebee's, okay? Lastly, people were kind of confused about how I was talking about housekeeping, and then what else was I talking about time-wise? Oh, the reservation times. So I'm gonna clear up that timeline, but the reason I was doing all of it was to show that, like, oh, he must have left while I was sleeping because of XYZ. So around like maybe 10:30, he's like, I'm gonna go meet up with my sister who I haven't seen in 2 years. I'll be back by noon. And we had a lunch reservation for 1:30. And so like for me, I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely not getting lunch with her. Like we have lunch reservations, he knows this. And I said, okay, like you don't have to get back by noon, but just like be back in time for our reservation. He said, cool, I'll be there. Around like 1, I started to kind of be like, or maybe it was a little earlier than 1. I was like, oh, where are you, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I kind of started noticing like, oh, he's like, where is he? And so I got back to the room, chilled for a little bit, was just getting angry about like, where the fuck are you? And that's when housekeeping came at 3:30. And the significance of housekeeping is that they came before I took my nap. So he basically, the bathroom, like after housekeeping had come, there was a wet washcloth in the bathroom, which made me realize that he must have come after housekeeping came at 3:30. And I napped right after housekeeping. So I was like, realistically, he did this while I was taking my nap in the room. And then he went and took a shower while I was in the room. Yes, I was knocked out like a tank, clearly. I'll, of course, update you guys with anything that happens part 2. I have a couple tricks up my sleeve about how I'm going to figure out some more information, but I'm definitely going to update you guys either way. And if you haven't watched part 1 already, go watch it.
So based upon how she's talking, and I'm going to say this because we stereotype all the time, we can assume that this is a certain demographic of man that she went on vacation with based off of how she talks. I'm not saying that that's always the case, but based off how she talks, that's the way it seems. Now, the second thing, I know a lot of you sleuths and you internet detectives are thinking, so he used a washcloth, which we know a lot of times white dudes don't use washcloths, which seems a little odd. It's kind of like, who is he? Who is this dude? What's going on here? But my man came there, and I think it's very distasteful to go and visit somebody while you're on vacation with someone else, especially if you don't take them. So that's a red flag right there, I think. My sister, if I'm going out there with my sister and we're on vacation, like I'd be like, yo, I'm already bringing you. Like I'm just randomly going somewhere for a few hours and then maybe that's just me. It's kind of weird if I do say so myself. But just my thoughts on it, baby. My man just up and dipped and say he had a family emergency and he couldn't tell you. He was waiting for you to reach out to him. People have the ability to tell you what's going on if something happens. Especially if you guys are living together in a hotel. And what they say, that's a psychopath that puts their clothes in the drawers at a hotel and hangs their clothes up. Everybody usually lives out of a suitcase, right? But let's get back to the video. Let's go.
This guy ghosted me while we were on vacation together. Here's some of the receipts. We still don't have like an update yet, but here's like our last conversations. And keep in mind, he left Friday, probably around Saturday around 1-ish. I don't fucking know. I don't care. If you haven't already watched the video, go watch it. Okay, so as you should know, we had lunch reservations at 1:30, and I think probably the message where I'm saying this is so disrespectful is probably around like 1:25, maybe 1:40 or something. So he's clearly railroaded through the plans, and I'm letting him know this is not okay. And then he apologized, being like, I have found out some devastating news that myself, as well as like 2 million other viewers, we don't believe that he found out devastating news. We believe that he was ghosting me. Like he left me mid-trip. He took his stuff and left while I was sleeping. And you know what? I'm a trusting person, so I'm feeling bad for this guy. He's like, eating dinner is the last thing on my mind. First of all, it's lunch. But I go, it's okay. Are you gonna stay out there? I don't know where I really thought there was, wherever he was supposed to be with his sister. And I was like, if so, like, I'll see you tomorrow, feel better. And he'll go like, hey, I'll be out here. And I asked, do you want me to come with you? Because again, such a nice person. He said no, whatever. So at this point, I'm actually worried. I'm like, let me know if there's anything I can do. And then I realized that while I was napping, he had taken his stuff and left. And so at that point, I was like, never mind. I just saw you grab your shit and left. And then yesterday I asked, is everything going to be okay with you? And he said, I'll be fine. And that's the last we've talked. I do plan on reaching out towards like the end of the week because I'm not a desperate bitch. I'm not going to seem like a desperate bitch. and I want it to like kind of find out more organically. But if I don't know by the end of the week, then we will be figuring this out one way or another, what the fuck happened. Because literally we were having like, it was a date vacation, and so we were having a great vacation, so I thought. And yeah, he said he had this devastating event and had to run and didn't say bye. I don't know. It was a second date. And for people saying like, oh, like this is your fault for going on a vacation as a second date, I have a couple responses to that. One, if men take you to Arby's, just say that. Two, I feel like as long as you're in a position where financially and decision-making wise that you are able to leave the situation if need be, so being financially able to get your own hotel if needed, financially able to get your own flight if needed, get your own Uber if needed, then vacations for dates aren't really that bad of an idea. Like, you really get to know somebody on a vacation. If they're flying you out, like, go do it, girl. Like, what the hell? Also, for everyone making fun of my tongue, fuck you. I had been drinking pina coladas that, yes, I had been charging to the room. I had been tipping everyone 40% the entire time I was running up the bill. But yeah, the little search bar on my last video now says white tongue. My tongue is like, leave me alone. But I'll of course keep you guys updated as I know more, which I am determined to get to the bottom of this, and some Tampa girls have offered to help.
Yo, that is comedy. I still think that is something strange, if I do say so myself, how he handled that. She offered to come out. You're already on vacation with someone. You're supposed to be spending time with this person. Why are you venturing off and then say, no, I don't need you to come? This is devastating news, so on and so forth. So you can't say he completely ghosted you, but that was dirty how he did it. He was communicating, but he's probably skated off with another chick. And the fact that you decided to run the tab up, some ladies say, go for it, girl. You go, girl. But in terms of flying out and stuff like that, a lot of ladies always have something to say. You flying out to meet a stranger? Women get flued out all the time. And a lot of you, as she said, y'all going to Arby's or going some local places, and a dude can't afford to fly you out some places. So that's just how it is. If you guys can afford it, and a lot of dudes say you simping for flying women out. Hey man, if you got the money, hey, it's all what's within your budget and what it is you're trying to do. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this video. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. Listen, it's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. Let's run it up to 1 million. I'm the best. Quit playing with me. Peace.